Welcome back to Let's Play Turok. I'm one with Tacos, and when we last left off, we're not quite done yet. It's giving me every weapon. It's trying to prepare me for the end. Oh, it's definitely trying to prepare me for the end. I really don't like running into darkness like this. This is the game's way of telling you, hey, you're not finished yet. One more boss. Let's do this. Guess what? I don't know if this will hurt you because you appear to have shields up, so let's actually shoot you with something else first. No, I think you're immune to damage right now. I think you're shielded from harm. Oh no, you're being hurt. No, not when you have that... okay, you can stop with the bunny hopping, dude. You are one fast little rabbit. Alright. I think it's finally time we saw what this thing can really do as soon as your shield appears to fade away. Come down here and lower that shield so I can shoot you with this truly amazing masterpiece, if you'll let me. I think he's like, as long as you have that weapon out, I'm keeping my shields on, thank you very much. He's like, I am not letting you shoot me with that thing, buddy. Fine. I'll change weapons. Oh, his shield's about to run out. It's fading. It's shimmering. I think it's about to run out. How do I turn the... Is there a way I turn it off or what? Fire the weapon! Nah, it phases right through him. Alright, let's switch back to the minigun. Oh, it's down! It was down. I am never gonna hit with this thing, am I? Fair enough. He moves too fast to be hit with a weapon such as that. Well, that's what miniguns are for. He seems to go down pretty easy to the minigun. I really just want to hit him with this. Come on. Let me. Please. Let me. No! What does this thing do at least? I pressed the button. Do I have to touch him with it? No. This does not appear to do a dang thing. Alright, let's switch back to the weapon that is actually working really well. I didn't want to just end this with a minigun. I never got to shoot anybody with that big thing. I was saving it for the final boss, but I didn't know he'd hop around like a bunny. You weren't even that tough. And you didn't let me shoot you with my photon torpedo. Oh, just die, fool. I am Turok. Run! Will our hero make it? He's fine. This is kind of a badass cutscene, I admit. And it's just going to end there. And this is the credit for Nighttime Studios, the people who brought this game to Steam, remade it, and remastered it. That was Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. It's over, and I never got to figure out what the Chronoceptor did. And I never got to shoot anyone with the big photon gun, but that's alright. I'll get over it eventually. Not today, but in a few weeks I might get over it. I like to think that's our hero sitting on the back of that thing, proudly about to go home. That was Turok Dinosaur Hunter. It is a legendary first-person shooter that I have never played before. It's too long coming, and I'm glad I finally played it, and not glad I decided to marathon the end there, but at least it's over with, and I have days worth of videos, so I can focus on leveling Ariel to 10, which I need to do. It's going to be hard. So that was Turok Dinosaur Hunter. I like the weapons, but a lot of them felt like more or less powerful than others. The explosive shell shotgun was basically the most reliable thing in the game. The Turok arrows were very reliable as well. The explosive ones. A couple of weapons, like the one that charges up and the alien gun, I never really got that much use out of. I never saw much use for them. I never got to reuse the photon gun or whatever it was called, and the Chronoceptor, which I don't know what it did. Apparently it's some legendary weapon, but I never got to use it. Never got to use those, but I like the game. I wish when they remastered it they would have introduced a proper saving system, instead of having to get an emulator or something like that, but it's how the game was originally played, so if that's how it was made, that's how it was made. I understand that that was on the Nintendo 64 and the like, so whatever. You couldn't really do a save anywhere system, but I feel like the PC version should have had that, because a save anywhere system really is an important feature to a strong game. It really is. I've said that before, but I think you need a save anywhere system. It's good. The enemy types were varied enough. I never felt that I was fighting the same people over and over again, especially when it started introducing like mechs that completely came out of nowhere. I did not expect mechs anywhere. I'm never a big fan of enemy respawn. I will never really be a fan of that. That's not really kind of my style, you know? I get how it kind of works in a game where you're going back to levels, but I still wish it wasn't there. I wish it wasn't there. And if it was going to be there, have some kind of way for respawning life and respawning ammo, because it did get to a couple points where I was just kind of low on things. And that's another thing. As the enemy types got more powerful, they also got tougher. Like, instead of doing just more damage, they ended up being harder to kill, and that made certain weapons kind of useless. I realize that's common in most first-person shooters. Like, the first weapon you get, whatever, is a pistol, and like you get to a point where you're just never using the pistol anymore. I get that, but when the game has a thing where it's like it's auto-scrolling through weapons when you run out, and it keeps going to that assault rifle, which is useless, it gets upsetting. That's a thing where like the developers should realize at what point you're not using a weapon anymore, and be like, okay, we're gonna stop giving you clips, and it's just gonna be like explosive shells and energy. I don't remember there being very many energy pickups on the ground. Most of the energy pickups were from dead people. There were a few of them on the ground. And obviously that Chronoceptor was using a different energy type, because I only had 3 with it, but I had like 60 something energy when I switched to an energy weapon. But it's still, I pulled out the Chronoceptor, and I pressed the button. Up, Dean Seltzer as Turok. Yay, everyone clap. Dean Seltzer. He had one line and a couple of ohs. Other than that, he had one line, but damn, it was a good line. I never got to fire it, and I never, every time I seemed to have that big gun out, he kept his shield on. He would lower it at some points, but never when I had that big gun out. And it's a shame, because I would have liked to shoot him with it and just watch his entire health bar drop. I never saw ammo pickups with that thing. Like, I should have just used it against the T-Rex and just see how much health it would take off, but I didn't expect him to be a jumping sorry. Unprofessional of me. I didn't expect him to be a jumping little bunny. Map design was great. I don't like branching paths, but that's a personal thing. As strictly level design, it was fine. Maybe one or two too many jumping or die puzzles in a game where you can't save anywhere and lives are not infinite, nor are checkpoints everywhere. I think like if you're gonna do segments like that where it's jump or die, put a checkpoint there, like on every one of them. Like 5 or 6 checkpoints a level is not a bad thing. Put more checkpoints in a game. That's the thing. If you're not going to have a save anywhere system, be generous with the checkpoints. Nobody likes difficulty that comes from having to retread ground. I realize that's an old school thing, but nobody likes having to do that. Difficulties through jumping is fine. Difficulty of having to repeat the level to get to the same jump point to die again is not fun. Nobody likes that. Other than that, I don't know what else there much is to talk about. Good game. Very good game. Very good first-person shooter. Definitely made in a different era, and it's good to come back to a game like this. Like, if you watch my Let's Play Something, you'll know I've still been playing Hard Reset. It's good to have games like this where it's just no fiddling around. Like, you know, it's just straightforward. Here's a gun, here's an enemy, here's a map. Have fun. I wish they'd make a Serious Sam 4. It's time. It's time. Time for a Serious Sam 4. And go back to the more cartoonish style of Serious Sam 2 and Serious Sam 1. I wish they'd do that instead of that realistic thing they did for Serious Sam 3. And especially go back to the crazy fights that you can get in Serious Sam, where like it was just fights would last forever. Just massive, insane rooms where you'd walk into it, there'd be an ammo pack and a heart, and you would just you would curse out loud, because you knew what was coming. We need a Serious Sam 4, but that's not the subject of this video. Very good game. I liked it a lot. So, thank you for watching, and definitely pick this one up if you're interested in first-person shooters. It's a very prime example of a game done right. I'll see you guys later. Then this is One More Taco signing off. See you next Let's Play.